Hello there, Abigail. All right, let's go. So reading is traditionally seen as a method for young people to acquire certain skills. Good. However, engaging in fun activities allows the children to develop and employ vital skills later in life. Good. What could we use instead of skills? And the valuable question is, what can we do to avoid repetition? First of all, we can have a look at a thesaurus and check for synonyms of skills. So vital abilities, let's see, skills, abilities, yeah, checking the thesaurus. This essay will express full agreement that doing enjoyable activities is more effective using gaming consoles and sports as examples to demonstrate. Okay. So here what we're saying is enjoyable activities are more effective with games, consoles and sports. And I don't think that was really the question. What we wanted to prove was that let's see. That's the problem. Full agreement that doing enjoyable activities is more effective than reading, comma, using gaming consoles and sports as examples to demonstrate points and prove arguments, and support arguments is also valid. Okay, so that was the issue there. For one, playing firstly is fine. Firstly, playing with game consoles enables young people to develop skills that would be impossible to gain by just reading. Good. This is because when playing a games console, child develops skills on cognitive thinking and spatial awareness. Genius. Recent studies by Brown University have shown that students who spend around 1 to 3 hours playing electronic gaming systems such as Nintendo Wii and Sony PlayStation outperform their counterparts by about 15 to 25% in abstract reasoning tests. Genius vocabulary. Therefore, it is clearly evident that there are more benefits in playing games consoles than by reading alone. Wow, what a genius. Very good start, Abigail. Very impressed. Excellent. Word of warning, the next essays, make sure that they're at 250 words, okay? I have a sneaky suspicion that these are much more than 250. So do a word count, and if it's more than 260, go through and try and eliminate words and sentences that are not 100% essential. Second thing, because these essays are so good, I want you to tell me how much time you spent doing them, because this is probably not your case, but some students spend 3 hours, send me an immaculate essay, and it's not practical. Okay, don't worry, it's the start of the course. But next time, tell me how much time you spent on these, and then try to get your next task one done in under an hour, if that applies to you. Okay? If it just takes you 40 minutes to write each one, don't worry about it. In addition, reading being a solitary task does not often provide young people of social skills which can be greatly learned through participation. Good. This is due to the fact that social activities such as sports introduce concepts such as teamwork and sportsmanship. The American Sports Commission reported that students who engage in team sports such as basketball and volleyball appear to be well behaved and more emphatic towards others. Thus, the advantages of participating in sports are much more apparent compared to just reading, much more apparent compared to just reading. Fantastic, Abigail, this is genius work. Well done. To conclude, although reading expands a child's understanding, possessing important skills can be learned from entertaining activities such as... Okay, so here the problem is with possessing. If we just delete it, we make much more sense. To conclude, although reading expands a child's understanding, important skills can be learned from entertaining activities such as playing games consoles and joining in sports. Okay, good. So yeah, let's just delete the possessing. Here's another tip that will probably make your life more difficult regarding word count, but I'll tell you anyway. Can we put a sentence in here related to the future? It is predicted that electronic gaming will be introduced into most school curriculums due to the tremendous benefits. Okay, and all I'm saying is that we get another tense in there, we get another grammatical structure, and that helps you with grammatical range and accuracy score. There's no denying the fact that communication is becoming less frequent in every household and is a growing problem in the 20th century. I completely agree that it has indeed suffered. This essay will analyse the issue using examples from the US and an academic study to demonstrate points and support arguments. Genius, genius, genius. Firstly, one of the principal grounds why parents and children are talking less and less nowadays, probably because of the advent of technology. Love it that you've used probably there. So many students just say is because of the advent of technology. Okay? By using probably, we're hedging. Genius work. This is due to the fact that many people have their own personal gadgets and spend the majority of their time using them. In the US, for example, it was noted that 8 out of 10 households employ portable devices such as Apple and Samsung mobile phones or tablets. Therefore, the use of technology at home has affected the communication of every family negatively. Okay, just for clarity, we could have said has negatively affected the communication of every family. Okay, it's just easier to follow. That's an improvement, not a correction. So we're on the right track, Abigail. Secondly, another reason for failing communication in households is that both parents often need to work full-time, spending less quality time with the children. Very good. This is because raising a family in modern times requires an enormous amount of money. Recent studies from Harvard University have shown that the trend for both parents in full employment has tripled over the past decade, as income from one working parent is inadequate to cover the ever-growing household expenses. Genius, good. We can also say for the past decade. Yeah, for or over, okay. For the past decade, yeah. Thus, the drawback of having both working parents is clearly apparent. Fantastic. Right, your level is insanely good, Abigail. So why don't you try and slip in an idiomatic expression into your next essay, okay? Then we're really going to be pushing it, okay? At the moment, I'm going through it and finding very few errors, so there's no reason why we cannot push it. Okay, let's review some of the idiomatic expressions. Now's a good time to experiment while you're getting feedback, while you're improving, okay? And a very universal one you can use is from all four corners of the world, okay? Because most essays write about something within all four corners of the world, okay? So you might want to review it, research it, and then just see if you can slip that one in, okay? Because that's when bonus points and the examiner starts looking at 7.5 and 8 possibly. I don't want to get your hopes up, but let's start. Why not push for it? That's what I'm saying. To conclude, it has been argued that the invention and usage of technology, as well as parents in full-time occupations, have worsened the communication. Has worsened. Okay, has worsened the communication in families. Have worsened. Yeah, has. Drastic actions from each member of the family are required to improve the situation. Genius. Good, 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 good. Very impressed, Abigail. Fantastic start. So, next mission, next task is to implement the corrections that you've heard. Okay. Send me back the corrected essays. Make a list of the errors. Or 5 of them, because there weren't that many. And yeah, write me 2 new essays, check those 2 new pieces of work for mistakes you've made in these ones, send it back as soon as possible, and we can carry on improving. And remember to try and slip in that idiomatic expression. Oops, daisy. And slip in that idiomatic expression. Okay? You're doing great, Abigail. Fantastic start.